Model 5 multi-layer devices, basic silicon controlled rectifier operations. The graphical symbol of a SCR is as shown in figure 1, that is a anode, cathode and a gate is there. The PNPN structure of the device is as shown in the figure 2. Here the figure 1, that is PNPN structures anode, cathode and the gate. By maintaining anode positive with respect to the cathode is not sufficient to turn on SCR. The gate current in the form of a pulse is applied to the gate to turn on the SCRs. To know the operation of the device, the 4-layer semiconductor structure is split into two 3-layer semiconductor structures consisting of two transistors NPN, and the split into two 3-layer semiconductor structures consisting of two transistors NPN and PNP as shown in the figure 2. Here the PNP transistors, and here this one it is NPN transistors, so that here it is anode and here it is cathode and here it is the gate. The two transistor model of the transistors, that is PNP it is transistor Q1, NPN it is transistor Q2, here it is IB1 and IB2 and HT. The two transistor model is as shown in the figures. During the time interval 0 to T1, the magnitude of gate pulse is 0, so that gate voltage is equal to 0. The base current of two transistor Q2 is 0, IB2 is equal to 0. The collector current of transistor Q2 is equal to the reverse saturation current ICO. The base current of transistor Q1 is IB1 is equal to IC2 is equal to ICO. Both the transistors Q1 and Q2 are off conditions. The impedance developed between the anode and the cathode is large and is represented by an open circuit. And the impedance between the anode and the cathode is large and is represented by an open circuit, because here it is the high impedance. So that during the interval T1 to T2, gate pulse Vg is applied. The magnitude of the pulse is sufficient to turn on the transistor Q2. The collector current of transistor Q2, that is IC2, increases, so that IC2 is equal to IB1 is sufficient to turn on the transistor Q1. The collector current of IC1, that is IC1, increases, that adds to the IB2, that results in the further increase in the collector current of the transistor Q1. The regenerative action results in the large increase in the anode current. The resistance developed between the anode and the cathode is small. So that here the collector current of transistor Q2 increase, that is IC2, increases. IC2 is equal to IB1 is sufficient to turn on transistor Q1. The collector current of IC1 increases, that adds to IB2, that results in further increase in the collector current of transistor Q1. The regenerative action results in the large increase in the anode current. The resistance developed between the anode and the cathode is small. The SCR is represented by a short circuit. Here the SCR it is represented by a short circuit between the anode and the cathode, and it is under the on conditions. SCR characteristics and the ratings. Here the reverse block reason SCR characteristics: forward breakdown voltage VBRF. The anode to cathode voltage above which SCR enters from the non-conducting state to conducting state is known as the forward breakover voltage. This one it is the forward breakover voltage VBRF. Holding current. Holding current is the anode current below which the SCR enters from the conducting state to non-conducting state. Holding current, this one it is the holding current, so that the SCR enters from the conducting state to the non-conducting state here in these regions. and forward and reverse blocking regions. This region represents the open circuit condition of SCR and blocks the flow of charge carriers from anode to cathode. This region represents the open circuit condition. This region represents the open circuit condition of SCR and blocks the flow of charge carriers from anode to cathode, forward and reverse blocking regions. Here this one it is the forward blocking regions, and this one it is the reverse blocking forward blocking regions, and this one it is the reverse blocking reverse blocking regions. This one it is forward blocking regions. So that here the reverse breakdown voltages is equal to Zener breakdown or Ulan's breakdown of a semiconductor diode. When gate current Ig is equal to 0 ampere, the anode to cathode voltage required to turn on SCR is the anode to cathode voltage required to turn on SCR is the forward breaker voltage VBRF. As the magnitude of Ig is decreased to Ig1, then the forward voltage required for SCR to enter conducting state is equal to V of 1. Is increased here. Is increased. Here also it is increased. When Ig is equal to 0 ampere, the anode to cathode voltage required to turn on SCR is forward breaker voltage VBRF. As the magnitude of Ig is increased to Ig1, then forward voltage required for SCR to enter to conducting stage is equal to Vf1 and is less than VBRF. As gate current is increased to Ig2, the forward voltage required is considerably low, equal to Vf2. Note also that the IH drops with increase in Ig. So that here the VBR forward breaker voltage Vf1 and here it is the Vf2. Gate current is equal to 0, Ig is equal to 0. Here it is Ig1 and here it is the Ig2. Ig is equal to 0, here it is Ig1 and here it is the Ig2. Forward breaker voltage and here it is the reverse the regions. That is, as the gate current is, as magnitude of gate current is increased, then forward voltage required for SCR to enter the conducting state is equal to Vf1 and is less than VBRF. As gate current is increased to Ig2, the forward voltage required very low, equal to Vf2. Note also that the holding current drops with increase in Ig. The gate characteristics. The area of the curve drawn in the gate voltage and gate current characteristics gives the firing area of SCRs. The area of the curve drawn in the gate voltage and the gate current characteristics gives the firing area of SCR except for the shaded regions. The area is a combination of gate voltage and gate current. VGF maximum forward gate voltage 10 volts. The maximum forward gate current it is equal to the maximum forward gate current it is equal to the 12 amperes. PGFM maximum forward gate power is equal to 20 watts. So that except for the shaded region SCR can be fired. That is firing area of the SCRs. at any temperatures range of interest. At 65 degrees centigrade, the gate current required to fire SCR is 100 milliamperes. At 150 degrees centigrade, the gate current required to fire the SCR is 20 milliamperes. The maximum gate voltage that will not fire SCR at a temperature of 150 degrees centigrade is the 0.5 volts. 0.15 volts. The DIAC is a two-terminal device with parallel inverse connected semiconductor layers. The breakdown voltages are in either directions. The possibility of on condition in either direction is the significant advantage of it used in AC applications. Here anode, and here it is the anode 1 and anode 2, 1 and the anode 2. No cathode terminal is present. The two anode terminals are anode 1 and the anode 2. When anode 1 is positive with respect to anode 2, the semiconductor layers P1, N2, P2 and the N3. When anode 2 is positive with respect to anode 1, the semiconductor layers are P2, N2, P1 and the N1. So that the breakdown voltages in either directions are equal. VBR1 is equal to VB2 plus or minus 0.1 VBR2. The breakdown currents in both the directions are equal and is 100 microampere is equal to 0.1 milliamperes. The breakdown voltage, here it is breakdown voltage, we are breakdown currents. Breakdown voltages in either directions and breakdown currents in either directions. The breakdown voltages in both the directions vary from 28 volts to 42 volts. Triac is similar to the DIAC but with a third terminal for the control purposes known as the gate. The characteristics of Triac are different from the DIAC. The holding current is present in Triac but not in the DIAC. The characteristics in first and the third quadrants are equal. The characteristics in first quadrant are equal to the SCR characteristics. The two SCRs are connected. The two SCRs are connected in anti-parallel with a single gate terminal for the control purposes in both directions. Applications. The Triac and DIAC are both conducted in either directions. The combination of these two are used in AC voltage controllers to control the power flow to the loads. So that when a sinusoidal signal is applied to the input of the circuit by varying the resistance R, both the positive and negative half cycles of the input sinusoidal signal can be varied by using DIAC and Triac combinations. Here this one it is DIAC and here it is the Triac. So that the sinusoidal signal used in AC voltage controllers to control the power flow into the load. To control the power flow to the load, these two combinations are used. Unijunction transistors UJT. The construction, the basic material is a lightly doped silicon slab of N type of materials. The two base terminals are B2 and the B1 are connected to both the ends of the silicon slab at one end of the surface. The opposite surface is allied by a aluminum rod. The opposite surface is allied by an aluminum rod, so that one PN junction is formed in the silicon slab. The device is known as unijunctions. The aluminum rod is allied to the slab, so that the nearer to the B2 terminal compared to B1 is nearer to the B2 compared to the terminal B1. The voltage applied between B2 and B1 is the VBB symbol. The emitter terminal in the symbol makes an angle with the vertical line representing the silicon slab. The direction of the arrow in the emitter terminal is for the conventional flow of current for conducting state. Equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit of UJT consists of two resistors, one fixed and other variable resistors, and one diode as emitter emitter current varies the resistance as emitter current as and one diode. Equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit of UJT consists of two resistors, one fixed and another variable, and one diode. Here one diode. The emitter current, as the emitter current varies, the resistance RB1 varies. The RBB is the base spreading resistance, so that RBB is equal to RB1 plus RB2, and emitter current it is equal to 0. According to voltage divider rule, the drop of voltage across RB1 when emitter current is equal to 0 is RB1, VRB1 is equal to RB1 VBB upon RB1 plus RB2 is equal to 0, and so that VRB1 is equal to neta, VBB is equal to at I is equal to 0. Neta is equal to RB1 upon RB1 plus RB2, and emitter current is equal to 0. Neta is the intrinsic standoff ratio of UJT. Neta is equal to RB1 upon RBB. RBB is equal to RB1 plus RB2. Emitter current is equal to 0. The applied voltage. The emitter voltage must be greater than the combination of drop of voltage across RB1 and the drop of voltage across the diode VRB1 and VD. For the firing of diode, the emitter firing potential is given by Vp is equal to neta VBB plus VD. VE must be greater than the combination of drop of voltage across RB1 and the drop of voltage across the diode, that is VRB1 and VD. For the firing of diode, the emitter firing potential is given by Vp is equal to neta VBB plus VD. VE must be greater than the combination of drop of voltage across RB1 and the drop of voltage across the diode, so that VRB1 and VD. For the firing of diode, the emitter firing potential is given by Vp is equal to neta VBB plus VD. Characteristics of UJT, so that the peak current, here it is the valley current, the valley voltage and the peak voltage, so that the here negative resistance region, this one it is saturation region, negative resistance region, this one is saturation region, here it is the cutoff regions. The emitter voltage VE below the peak voltage VP, the emitter current I is negligible and measured in microamperes and is indicated as IEO. This current is equal to reverse saturation current ICO of BJT. This region of operation is known as cutoff regions. The cutoff regions. After the peak voltage VP, the emitter voltage VE goes on decreases with increase in the emitter current, so that until it reaches the valley current IV, so that this region of operation is known as the negative resistance region. After the valley voltage, the emitter voltage remains constant. For increase in the emitter current, the emitter voltage reaches to the emitter voltage reaches to its saturation value. This region of operation is known as the saturation region. Here, this region of operation is known as the for increasing the emitter current, that emitter voltage remains constant. So that this region of operation is known as saturation regions. The silicon slab is of N type of material. Aluminum rod of P type of material is allied to the silicon slab. The holes are injected from aluminum rod to the slab. The hole content in the slab increases. The number of free electrons in the slab also increases. The conductivity increases, so resistance decreases. In the applications of UJT, this negative resistance of operation is used. The characteristics of practical UJT is shown in the figure. The emitter current below the Vp is in microamperes is neglected. The intersection of characteristic curves with the vertical axis is the peak voltage. The characteristics of practical UJT is shown in the figure. The emitter current below the peak voltage is in microamperes. The emitter current below peak voltage is in microamperes is neglected. The intersection The emitter current below the peak voltage is in microamperes is neglected. The intersection of characteristic curves with the vertical axis is the peak voltage. So that here these are the peak voltages. Peak voltage decreases with the decrease in VBB. The triggering circuit for SCR using the UJT. To use UJT as a triggering circuit for SCR, it must be operated in the negative resistance region. The load line drawn in the characteristics of UJT is present in the negative resistance region. The right of the peak point and the left of the valley point. The KVL is applied to the circuit at the peak point is plus V minus IR1 minus V is equal to 0. At peak point I is equal to IP, VE is equal to VP. So that V is equal to IP R1 minus VP. So that R1 is equal to V minus VP upon IP. So that here R1 capacitors resistance R2 and B2. So that KVL is applied to the circuit at valley point, so that plus V minus IR1 minus V is equal to 0. So that at valley point I is equal to IV, VE is equal to VV. So that plus V minus IV R1 minus VV is equal to 0. IV is equal to V minus VV upon IV. The range of values of resistance R1 are V minus VV upon IV, R1 V minus VP upon IP. The time required for the capacitor to charge from the valley voltage to the peak voltage is T1 is equal to R1C. The capacitor voltage can be written as VCT is equal to V of V plus V minus VV 1 minus e raised to minus T upon R1C. The time required for the capacitor to discharge from the peak voltage to valley voltage is T2 is equal to RV plus R2 into C. Capacitor voltage can be written as the VCT is equal to VP e raised to minus T upon RB1 plus R2 into C. The drop of voltage across R2 before entering into the negative resistance region is VR2 is equal to VR2 upon RB1 plus RB2 into R2 at emitter current is equal to 0. So that VR2 is equal to VR2 upon RB plus R2 into emitter current is equal to 0. The drop of voltage across R2 after entering into the negative resistance region is VR2 is equal to R2 into bracket of VP minus 0.7 upon RB1 plus R2 is equal to R1 the capacitors RB2 and RB1, here it is R2 is equal to VR2 0.7 volts. The charging time T1 of the capacitor can be determined as at a time T is equal to T1 capacitor VC2 is equal to peak voltage VP is equal to V of V plus V minus VV into bracket of 1 minus e raised to minus T1 upon R1C. VP is equal to V of V plus V minus VV minus into bracket V minus e raised to minus T1 upon R1C. V minus into bracket of minus e raised to minus T1 upon R1C. VP minus V is equal to minus V minus e raised to minus T1 upon R1C. V minus T1 upon R1C is equal to log of R1C log of V minus VV upon V minus VP. The discharging time T2 of capacitor can be determined as at time T is equal to T2 VC of T is equal to V of V is equal to VP e raised to minus T2 upon RB1 plus R2 into bracket of C minus T2 upon RB1 plus R2 into C is equal to RB1 plus R2 into C log of VP upon V. The total time T is equal to T1 plus T2 is equal to T2 greater than T2 less than T1. So that T approximately equal to T1. T is equal to R1C log of V minus VV upon V minus VP. V of V is equal to less than VV. T is equal to R1C log of V upon VP to the base C. Log of 1 upon minus VP by V is equal to R1C log of 1 upon 1 minus theta is equal to VP upon V intrinsic standoff ratio. The frequency of oscillation can be determined as F oscillation is equal to 1 upon T is equal to 1 upon R1C log of 1 upon 1 minus theta. Here it is the problems given. So that the given the relaxation oscillator as shown in the figure Here the R1 is given 50 coulombs. This one is one of the problem on the UJT triggering circuits, and the R2 is 0.1 coulombs, so that RBB is equal to 5 coulombs, neta is equal to 0.6, value voltage is equal to 1 volts, value current is equal to 10 milliamperes, and P current is equal to 10 microamperes. RB1 is equal to 100 ohms during discharge phase. Here the given the relaxation oscillator as shown in the figure, determine RB1 and RB2 at emitter current is equal to 0 amperes. Calculate the peak voltage, the voltage necessary to turn on the UJT. Determine whether R1 is within the permissible range of values to ensure firing of the UJT. Determine the frequency of oscillation if R1 is 100 ohm during the discharge phase. Sketch the waveform of the emitter voltage for a full scale capacitor voltage for a full scale. Sketch the waveform of VR2 for a full scale. Neta is equal to, first one, neta is equal to RB1 of RB1 plus RB2 at emitter current is equal to 0. RBB, RB1 is equal to neta into RBB is 3 coulombs, and plus R2 is equal to 2 coulombs. Here the Vp is equal to neta VBB plus Vd. Vp is equal to 0.6 into 12 into plus 0.7. Vp is equal to 7.2 plus 0.7 is equal to 7.29. R1 is less than V minus Vp upon Ip is less than 470. R1 must be less than 471 coulombs. R1 greater than V minus Vv upon Iv is greater than 1, so that V minus Vv upon Iv less than R1 less than V minus Vp upon Ip. So that R1 is the 1.1 coulombs. R1 must be greater than 1.1 coulombs. 1.1 coulombs less than R1 less than 471 coulombs. So that here from this one rating that R1 is within the permissible range of values. The frequency of oscillation is 1 upon R1C log of 1 upon 1 minus neta. The frequency of oscillation is 1 upon 50 into 10 raised to 3 into 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 12 log of 1 upon 1 minus 0.6. Frequency of oscillation is 218 megahertz. The T1 is equal to R1C log of V minus V upon V minus Vp is equal to minus 1 upon 12 minus 1.29. 4.29 F24 into 10 raised to minus 9 seconds. T2 is equal to RB1 plus RB2 into C upon Vv is equal to 0.0397 into 10 raised to minus 9 seconds. T is equal to T1 plus T2 is equal to 4.23 into 10 raised to minus 9 seconds. Frequency of oscillation is 233 megahertz. T1 here it is T2 0.23 3.3 and here VR2 here VC central voltage. Value voltage and here it is the peak voltage, and here it is the value voltage 0.23 and here peak voltage 3.3 and here it is T1 and here it is T2, so that the value voltage 0.23 and peak voltage 4 it is 3.3. VR2 is the charging time of capacitors, so that VR2 is equal to VR2 V into R2 upon RBV plus R2 at emitter current is equal to 0 is equal to 0.235 volts. VR2 in discharge time of capacitors. VR2 in charging time of capacitors. VR2 in discharge time of capacitors is equal to R2 into bracket of Vp minus 0.7 upon RB1 plus RB2. Here 0.1 into 10 raised to 3 7.29 minus 0.7 is equal to 3.3 volts. RB1 plus R2, so that here the RB1 plus R2, here RBB is equal at RB1 at a discharge phase is equal to RB1 plus R2 100 plus 100 is equal to 3.31. It is given that RB1 during discharge phase it is equal to RB1 during the discharge it is equal to the 100 ohms, but here the in charging period it is somewhat around the RB1 will be getting around it is equal to 3 coulombs, that is during the charging of the capacitors. Now the programmable unijunction transistors, that is POT. POT is a 4-layer PNP device with with a gate terminal directly connected to the n type of sandwiched layer. PUT programmable unijunction transistor is different from the UJT. The parameters RBB, neta and VP are controlled from RB1, RB2 and supply voltage VBB in the programmable unijunction transistors. So that here that is the equivalent circuits, and here the equivalent circuit of put is as shown in the figure. When the Vg is equal to 0 amperes, Vg is equal to RB1 VBB upon RB1 plus RB2. Vg is equal to neta VBB, neta is equal to RB1 plus RB1 plus RB2 using the voltage divider rule. Here voltage and here anode to cathode voltage, here it is the gate, and when gate current is equal to 0, you will be getting neta VBB. The device is operated in the off state, that is the I is low, voltage is between 0 to Vp, or in the on state, that is I greater than IV, and V greater than Vv. That is operated in the off state. I is low, voltage is between 0 and Vp. This is off state, this is on state. The device not operated in the unstable regions. This one, it is the unstable region of a Vp is equal to neta Vb plus Vd is equal to Va is equal to Va plus Vg. The Vd is equal to 0.7 volt silicon, so that Vp is equal to neta Vbb. So that put is used as a relaxation. Vg is equal to neta Vbb, so that Vp is equal to the neta Vbb plus 0.7 volts. Put is used as a relaxation oscillator to trigger the SCRs. Put is used as a relaxation oscillator to trigger the SCRs. The triggering circuit using put is as shown in the figure. The time t required for the capacitor to charge to the peak voltage Vp is t is equal to RC log of VBB upon Vp is equal to RC log of 1 upon 1 minus VBB is equal to 1 upon neta. The value of R must be selected so that the device should not be operated in the unstable regions. The maximum value of R is R maximum VBB minus Vp upon Ip. The minimum value of R is R minimum is equal to VBB minus VB upon IV, so that the value of R must be within the limits R minimum less than R maximum. The value of the waveforms of VA, VK and VG are shown in the figures. Here the waveforms of VA is VK, and here it is VP, and 0 to Vp, and here Vk it is equal to cathode voltage, it is Vg is equal to here in this forms Vk Va minus Vb, Vg is equal to neta Vbb. Determine RV1 and VBB for a silicon put. If it is determined that neta is equal to 0.8, Vp is equal to 10.3 and RB2 is equal to 5K, neta is equal to RB1 upon RB2 is equal to RB1 upon RBB, 0.8 to RB1 upon RB2. RB1 plus RB2 is equal to, so that the RB1 is equal to 20 grams. Vp is neta VBB plus Vd for silicon put. Vd is equal to 0.7 volts. 10.3 minus 0.7 is 0.8 into VBB. VBB is equal to 9.6 upon 12 volts. For the silicon put relaxation oscillators, given that VBB, R, C and the that is RK, RB1, RB2, IP, IVV and IV. Determine the peak voltage. The maximum resistance, minimum resistance, T and frequency of oscillations, the waveform of VA, VG and VK. Vp is equal to neta plus Vd, neta is equal to RB1 upon RB1 plus RB2 is equal to neta is equal to 0.67 is equal to neta is equal to neta VBB plus Vd, it is equal to 8.74. Vp is equal to 8.74. R maximum is VBB minus Vp upon Ip is equal to 32.6 coulombs. R minimum VBB minus VB upon IV is equal to R minimum 2 coulombs. Minimum less than R maximum. So 2 coulombs less than 20 coulombs less than 32.6 coulombs condition is satisfied. The T and frequency of oscillations, T is equal to RC log of VBB upon VBB minus VP. T is equal to 20 into 10 raised to 3, 1 into 10 raised to minus 6 upon the log of here this one, it is log log of 12 upon 12 minus 8.3. 20 into 10 raised to minus 3 log of 12 upon 3.26. 20 into 10 raised to minus 3 here 3.68. 20 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 1.30 26.05. Here you have to write this one. It is the log of the 12 VBP upon VB minus VP. It is T is equal to 26.05 milliseconds. The frequency of oscillation is F is equal to 1 upon T. 1 upon 26.05 is equal to 38.38 Hz. VA here, this one is VA, it is equal to 0. VA VP is equal to neutral VB plus VD. VK is equal to VA minus VB, it is equal to 7.74. VA VK VG is equal to neutral VBB 8.04 7.74 and 74. The basic operation of choppers. Choppers are the power electronic circuits which convert fixed DC voltage to variable DC voltage. The waveforms of VA, VG and VK. VA it is equal to VP, VK is equal to 7.74, VG is equal to neta VB 8.0. Okay, the waveforms of VA, VG and VK. The basic operation of choppers. Choppers are the power electronic circuits which convert fixed DC voltage to variable DC voltage. Types of choppers: step down choppers, step up choppers. Principle of step down choppers: the DC output voltage is less than the DC input voltage, so that the circuit is as shown in the figures operates as a step down chopper with R load. When switch is on, the supply voltage appears across the load, and switch is off, the supply voltage is disconnected from the loads. The waveforms for the load voltage and current are as shown in the figure. The switch can be implemented by using power BJT, MOSFET and IGBT. VCH is the drop of voltage across the switch when it is under the on state, so that the duty cycle is K. T1 is equal to T on choppers. T2 is equal to T of off time of the choppers. K is equal to T1 upon T1 plus T2 into 100%. But total time T is equal to T1 plus T2, so that K is equal to T1 upon T into 100%. From that one, so that T is equal to the average output voltage is V is K into bracket of Vs minus Vch. The RMS output voltage is Vrms is equal to 1 upon T integral 0 to T1 Vs minus Vch whole square whole raised to 1 by 2. Vrms is equal to T1 into bracket of Vs minus Vch upon T whole square is equal to square root of K into bracket of Vs minus Vch. The RMS output voltage. The efficiency is output power upon input power. The into 100%. Output power is Vs minus Vch upon whole square upon R, and the input power is Vs into bracket Vs minus Vch upon R. The effective input resistance is Ri is equal to Vs minus Vch upon Is is equal to Ri is equal to Vs minus Vch upon Ia. Because Is is equal to Ia is equal to Va upon R, so that Ia is equal to K Vs minus Vch upon R, so that Ri is equal to the Vs minus Vch upon Ia is equal to K into Vs minus upon R is equal to Ri is equal to R upon K. That is the effective input resistance. A DC chopper as shown in figure has a resistive load of R is equal to 10 ohm and input voltage of Vs is equal to 200 volts. When chopper is on, its voltage drop is 2 volts. The chopping frequency is 1 kHz. If the duty cycle is 60%, determine average output voltage, RMS output voltage, efficiency and effective input resistance. Given that Vs is equal to 200 volts, R is equal to 10 ohms, so that Vch is equal to 2 volts, F is equal to 1 kHz, K is equal to 60% is 0.6, VA, VRMS, neta and effective. VA is equal to K into Vs minus Vcs. 200 minus 2 is equal to 118.8 volts. VRMS is equal to root K into bracket of Vs minus Vch is equal to 153.37 volts. Efficiency is equal to output power upon input power into 100% is equal to the output power is Vs minus Vch whole square upon R is equal to 3904 upon R, and the input power is equal to Vs into bracket Vs minus Vch upon R 339,600 upon R. The efficiency is equal to the 30,000 is equal to 99%. The operation of a single phase inverters. Inverters are the power electronic circuits which converts DC input voltage to AC output voltage. Type single phase inverters, three phase inverters. Principle of operation of single phase half bridge inverters, so that Vs upon 2 load I2 Q1 Q2 supply voltage VA and not VB not, and here the output voltage plus Vs upon 2 minus Vs upon 2, that is the time T upon 2 time T, so that this one it is the half bridge inverters. The circuit diagram of a single phase the half bridge inverter is as shown in the figures. When the transistor Q1 and the transistor Q1 is on for a time T by 2, the voltage across the load is plus Vs upon 2. Similarly, when the transistor Q2 is on for a time T by 2, the voltage across the load is minus Vs upon 2. The logic circuit to the device transistors must be designed so that two transistors Q1 and Q2 not turn on at a times. So that two transistors Q1 and Q2 not turn on at a times. The logic circuit should be designed circuit to drive the transistors must be designed. Similarly, when transistor Q2 is on for a time T by 2, the voltage across the load is minus Vs upon 2. The two transistors Q1 and Q2 not turn on at a times. The RMS value of the output voltage is equal to 1 upon T integral 0 to T Vs upon 2 whole square whole raised to 1 by 2. Output voltage is equal to Vs upon 2. The RMS value of the output voltage is 1 upon 2 0 to T Vs upon 2 whole square, because when transistor Q2 is on for a time T, the voltage across the load is minus Vs upon 2. For a time T by 2, the voltage across the load is plus Vs upon 2. So that output voltage is plus Vs upon